Hey, good morning,
Hey,
everybody. Hey, Jason, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you, Pat?
I'm good. I'm good. The sun's shining. It's warm. I can't complain about that at all. Elaine won't be with us today. She's got some other things going on. She and Jason and Marissa were off in London last week. Maybe Jason can bring us up to date as to what they did and who they saw and everything like that. All good. Misty's with us from the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Misty, thanks for being with us. Michelle's with us today. Bridget Lee is with us from Wisconsin. Taylor's with us from the Texas Panhandle. Angela's with us from Holly, Michigan. There is a good place to be. Hello, Melissa from St. Louis. Faye is with us from Western North Dakota. Beautiful day in Indiana, Brenda. Yep, it is, I'm sure. So, a lot of folks with us. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. If you have any questions, simply put them in the chat box and we'll do our best to answer them for you. We're going to talk a little bit about MagnaCon coming up real soon. In June. That'll be a great time. I think we have some giveaways this morning that Jason knows about all that stuff. I'm
Oh,
scared
yeah.
as to what we might be doing. Hello, Nicole's with us. Danny's with us. Good morning from Oregon. Wow, a lot of folks joining us today. So again, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat box. So you were in London. Tell us what you were there for.
So we were there for the Animal Nutrition Tech and Wellness Expo, Europe. It was amazing. It was 3 days of a lot of learning, a lot of networking. Elaine and I and Marissa, we all had a lot of sushi as well, so that was good. We ate well while we were there. Pat, you and Elaine took care of us. But yeah, we were trying to meet with distributors on a global scale, as well as just learn the state of animal health worldwide. So there was a lot of vets there, as well as other companies in the tech space and the wellness and medical space for veterinary medicine. So it was great to meet some new people and spread the word of MagnaWave as well. There was quite a bit of interest and a lot of people who kind of looked at us like we were crazy when we started talking, and then as the conversation went further, their eyes would just get big and they would glow and want to learn more and want to know more. So we really had a great time and a great experience there for sure, Pat.
Well, that's great. You always learn a lot there. Lane was very excited about it when she was telling me more about
Mm-hmm.
what was going on, and that's wonderful. I spent a little time, but TJ and Lori and I were at the International Plastic Surgeons Gynecological Conference in Fort Lauderdale this past weekend, and that was very interesting as well. That whole conference is very interesting as you pursue that in women's health, men's health, and so forth. So that was a good show in Fort Lauderdale. We enjoyed it quite a bit. So there's a lot going on. I did see a question came up here. It says, when I took my certification, they said to LZR first. Now I hear more about using it last. Which is preferred and why? Well, one of the reasons that you would talk about using the LZR before you MagnaWave would be to get the red light into the area, get the beginning of the blood circulation and the blood flow going, and then come back and support it with the MagnaWave as you go. Can you do that after? You can use it however you really wish. I mean, there's no reason not to use it after. There's no real reason to have to use it before. That's just kind of one of the ways that people have done it, is to stack the modalities in that fashion. Something's got to be first, something's got to be second. So that's one way to approach it. It's a shorter session, so you can do a couple of minute session with the LZR and then follow up with the MagnaWave treatments as you desire at the various intensities and so forth. So there's really no real preference. Perhaps when we do the classes, when they were putting the classes together, that made sense to do that, and it does. Just stack them up and use them. But you can get good results either way. So I hope that helps. Let's see. I just had someone reach out about working with human and trigeminal neuralgia. And I was looking for a practitioner page. It looks like people have had decent luck using PEMF to help reduce symptoms. Absolutely, anytime you're dealing with those types of situations, just getting good blood flow, good oxygenation to the blood is going to be beneficial for whatever it is that you're in fact working on at that point in time. If you have questions, certainly reach out to Teresa. She can help you get your questions answered. You can also go to, if you're talking about the human side and you want to go to the Aura group, you can go to the Facebook Aura Research and Education page where you can ask questions about specific uses in the human space, and you can get answers accordingly. Certainly with our clearances on the human side, there's some things that we don't have a clearance for that we can only talk about in generality, but still we can approach. If you go to the private group, we can help you get a lot of those questions answered if your question deals with the human application using the Aura products. Okay, let's see if there's something else. Lisa Marie says, I always use the LZR first and had great results with dogs. There you go. Can it work? Works very well. Can I keep my machine in my wagon when I do a session at the barn? Does it have to be removed? No, you can put it wherever you would like to use it for as far as ease of use, safety, keeping it clean, whatever, however you want to approach that. But if you want to leave it in a wagon or a carrier, that's certainly fine. You don't want to constrict the fans.
That's what I was going to add for sure.
Situation to where the fan is kind of restricted, that's not good because that can cause the device to heat up. If it hits a certain temperature, the device will go off. There is a safety in each one of the devices that if it gets too warm, it shuts off before it causes any type of damage. Once it cools down, then it'll go right back into service and work very well. So just keep the fan from being obstructed if you are going to keep it in a wagon or some type of carrying.
And back to the red light, Maureen makes a great point with the Rock, our new red light device. And they're still available for pre-order. I know someone mentioned earlier, hoping to see it soon. I think, what has it been since Valentine's Day, 2 or 3 weeks? So we're almost at the halfway point for those to ship out. I've seen, just right out my window here is the warehouse where all the manufacturing and storage and stuff goes. I've seen a lot of product coming in as far as the cases and the foam for the packaging and things like that. So I know that they're getting close, but we're almost to the halfway point there for those red light devices to ship.
Right. That's great. Let's see. We have another question here. What's these things keep bouncing around on me? What is it? What benefit is it to do the rent-to-rent program for an Aura machine? Let's see where to go. For an Aura machine, certification only comes once purchased. Well, the rent-to-rent, if you want to, let's talk about this for a minute. If you want to be in the Aura space, I'm presuming you're talking about using the device on humans. The certification is certainly beneficial. The certification is certainly there once you purchase, but you can still utilize the device. If you've been trained on the veterinary side, let's say, and you want to approach the human side and you understand what you're doing and you have the device, then you can legally talk about what the device does. You can promote the device for human use. You can do all of that. So you have the total function of what you're wanting to achieve if your goal is to utilize the human aspect of what we're doing. So certainly there is value there to do that. If you want the human certification, you can go to the AOPP and approach the human certification through them, or you can, as you purchase the machine, you can get the certification that we're promoting, but it's through the AOPP either way. So you can go down that road. So there is a benefit if you want to actively promote for the human use and actively promote to the human market with an FDA cleared device. You can do that, and with the devices as they're registered, you can talk about them from a human perspective in that scenario. I hope that helps. Hope that helps answer the question that you had. Wish I could watch this live. I'm at work though. Just a quick note. My Spiro Kick is making some nice income as it stays rented out just about every week. There you go, Kathy. That's pretty cool. The click's a neat situation, and always fun to hear about it. Let's see here. Jason's sending me a message.
Let's see. No, and I would like to
bourbon bottle, pink hat, strap for a semi-10, and a nail shirt. What's a nail shirt?
The livestock shirt that we promoted back at the livestock fair that we did. So, but I would like to add as well with the rent to rent, the best way to get a Spiro click is to be a part of our affiliate program. And I know we've talked ad nauseum about that. You've met Lori Mattingly, as well as Elaine's mentioned it a ton. But personally here in the marketing department, Alex, our developer, spent a lot of time getting that dashboard worked out and to where we can track links. Everybody has a custom landing page based on your link tracking. And all you have to do is share that, get people to that page. And if you get 6 machines in a year, and that starts on the calendar year, so we're still in the first quarter of a year to sell 6 machines. And all you have to do is give us the lead. We make the sell on your behalf, and then you get a free Spiro click. So what's better than that, Pat? I mean, that's and then you have income like Kathy is saying here by renting it out.
Absolutely. So Jan asked a question. So if you own an animal device, can that be used on humans as well? Devices, and doctors have used devices, what they call off-label, for years, and how someone uses what they have is up to them. The question comes down to promoting. If you take a veterinary device and promote it for human use, the FDA doesn't like that. And they ask us to separate the companies accordingly for that particular type of situation. So that's the primary reason that we separated the two companies, because you can say things in the veterinary space that you can't say in the human space. And if you say things in the veterinary space as they apply to humans, you run the risk of getting the veterinary groups after you. You run the risk of practicing medicine without a license, all that type of stuff. Does it mean that you cannot use a device on yourself or how you choose to use it? You can do that off-label. But if you want to market, and you want to market correctly and safely, then you want to be affiliated with the Aura side of the situation. The FDA, as we understand it, is sending letters to people. We know the veterinary associations in various states have got classifications that they're working on with the devices. And of course, the AOPP that we staunchly support is working to make clarifications to those veterinary boards in the various states so they understand what's happening. To that end, this has happened several times. There was a time several years ago when the New York Veterinary Association said you cannot do PEMF. It has to be done by the veterinarian, has to be done by a vet tech, so on and so forth. That lasted about 3 months because the veterinarians are busy doing other things and they didn't want to get involved in that, so they wanted it to be able to be used, and so they changed their ruling. Same thing happened in Texas. It's been going on in Oklahoma one way or another for several years. There's ways to dance, to use your equipment in those areas, whether you rent the device and provide your services for free. There's just a lot of different things that someone can do in those particular areas. And of course, the AOPP is there to help explain that and help you any place you need that type of information. Hope that helps.
And right over Pat's head over there, we have the QR code up for the Aura website. And I know we talked about just launching that new website, but if you have any questions about PMF for humans, about the FDA, etc., there's a lot of information on there, a lot of great studies, and I would just direct everyone to the Aura page. There's maybe not a form for every question you have, but if you fill out a form anywhere on there, Lori or TJ or one of our product specialists will reach out to you and answer any questions that you have. So, Pat's a busy man, so we don't want him answering, coming to him personally for all your questions, but we have the Facebook group as well for Aura and all the human side as well. Amy asked about the Spiro Click and can we use it with any attachment? And I'll let you answer that, Pat.
The Spiro Click with any attachment? Sure. It comes with the attachments that make it easy to use on the animals, the way it's designed with the carrier and all of that. But you can remove it from the carrier and use it as a standalone machine with any attachment that you'd like to use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've got a couple of them in the marketing office that get used, all the time for different product shots and things like that. And so any attachment works. We just ship with the shorter leads on them so that when it's in the saddlebags and on the animal that, you don't have a lot of slack and excess cords there and things.
Correct. Angela asked a question about her Aura Wave, struggling on how different it feels from the Soul Pro that she has from the Soul. And the Soul is an analog machine. The Aura Wave at this point, except for the Aura Pulse, are digital machines. And as we've described that many times, the analog machines are like a number 2 pencil that's sharp. You can feel it more readily as it goes into the tissue. The digital machines are like a number 2 pencil that's a little duller, or the eraser of a number 2 pencil is just softer as it enters the body. The energy is there and it's going in, but it feels different. We had that problem years ago when we first went digital with some other devices. People that grew up, I used to say, with a device that's analog had really struggled to use or understand the feeling of the digital devices. My answer is, don't worry about it. Put it on and use it, and it'll work. And even though it feels a little differently to you, the results are there, and the people can understand, feel the results. And what's interesting is the some of the pilot studies that we're doing with the Aura devices. We're using our lowest powered devices, or our weaker devices, if you will, to show the results. And then as you go up in power, you certainly speed the result times, and you can get a more instantaneous type of result as well. But just put it on and use it, and don't worry about it. Don't let that show be very positive in what's happening. The real thing here about the digital devices is typically you can accept more energy, because the analog device might become uncomfortable more rapidly to using it on someone's shoulder, if you're talking about the Aura devices or whatever, or have it there. Whereas the digital device, you can turn it higher and actually put more energy into the tissue area than sometimes with the analog device. Hope that helps. Let's see here.
Some more questions about the Spiro, as far as using the battery pack that comes with it or plugging it in. Works either way, right, Pat? It doesn't matter. The battery pack is just added convenience for just setting.
The battery pack is there so you can use it very conveniently, and use it if you want to take it out and plug it in normally. Certainly do that, and away you go. Works great. Let's see. Maureen says, I only plug mine in, never use the battery pack. Yes, the 6-foot leads. MW comes with 12-foot leads. That's correct there. Oh, Cameron's responding to it. Cameron's responding to a question.
Thanks, Cameron. And then Kathy, for the Aura QR code, it's just aurawell.com. Sorry that it's covered up there. Maybe we could put it in the QR code across the bottom of the screen, Meredith, if you have a second to do that. But it's aurawell.com. That's all things Aura PMF, which is part of the MagnaWave family, but that is our FDA line FDA line of devices.
Correct. Steve asked a question. Thoughts on using MagnaWave on a breeding stud? There's certainly no reason not to use the device if you want to use it. Talk to the veterinarian. If they want you to stay away from certain areas of the animal, fine. But to use the device, I mean, we've done work for years in the area of breeding and ovary control in the females and so forth. So clear everything with your veterinarian that you're dealing with in these types of situations. But there's no reason to not do that if it's warranted as using something. Let's see.
Someone asked about MagnaCon, and a few people have also asked about discounts on attachments and things like that. First of all, tickets are still available for MagnaCon. I dropped the QR code down there at the bottom of the screen for you. But we don't have any planned sales, but MagnaCon. Not only are we giving away $120,000 or $50,000 worth of machines, Pat, close your ears. We are also going to have special promotions available to MagnaCon attendees, and that is both for the virtual as well as the live event here in Louisville. And I know a lot of you already know this, but it does cover your CE for the year 2024. So whether you can make it here to the live event or if you're just attending the virtual. It's going to be the same content. We got cameras everywhere. It's going to be great. I would suggest attending. The value there is through the roof for MagnaCon. I'm really excited.
We're really looking forward to that, and when it comes. How long does a Spiro battery last? I know we did some tests, hours. Maybe Cameron can answer that, because we were doing that test, those tests together when we were checking the batteries, and he can answer that question perhaps a little better for me. Amy says, Pat, you look like you've slimmed down a bit. Well, I have. I've lost about 40 pounds, and I've been working to keep it off as I go, and it's kind of fun. Slimming down a little bit. I needed to do that. We all need to try to stay healthy and maintain a proper weight load. Okay, is the MagnaWave the human version of the Semi 10? Leslie asked, and that is correct. The MagnaWave is basically the human version of the Semi 10. Absolutely. Let's see. Any other questions as we go forward? So let's give something away while we're waiting here for a second.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to start with the hat or the shirt?
Yeah, let's give the hat away. Give the hat away in one of my books. Let's do Never Give Up with Dick Vitale.
Okay, no, that's a great one. I've actually, I was looking for it. I have it right here, but I'm using it to hold my computer up so that, everybody wasn't staring at my chin fat. But yeah, I have it right here. And the bookmark's gone. I did finish it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So how are we going to do that?
Looks like Meredith ran a random generator already on that. Go ahead, Pat, and announce if you see it in the chat there.
Okay, let's see. Let's see. I don't see it in the chat.
Andrea Lynn. Andrea Lynn gets the book and the hat.
There you go. That's perfect. Looking forward to MagnaCon. Let's see. Houston. Hi from Houston. Let's see. I had a question here. How long does the Julian machine last? Mine's just wondering if I should trade it in, or will it last for another few hundred hours? Also out of warranty. So see if it's worth adding extra warranty. Nicole, very good question. Those machines will last for a long time. 400 hours is not many hours on the
just
overall.
Scraping the tip of it, right?
That's right. I've had machines that I've used for 10, 15 years with hundreds of hours. Actually, I had a machine at one time that had a few thousand hours on it. Certainly, they need to be calibrated once in a while, or they have issues. And she asked about the warranty. As you know, the machines come with a 3-year, no questions asked warranty, and then a 7-year extended warranty. And as you look at the warranty game, and we made a decision not to do this, companies charge you $200 a month, $500 a month, forever for the warranty. Then you send your machine in. And the reality of it is we didn't want to do that. We didn't want the warranty program to be a source of income that people would say you're just trying to make money. So what we did is an extended warranty. If you have your machine for 4 years or 5 years before you need to have something done, your maximum out of pocket is $750. Anything over that, we take care of. And instead of charging you $500 a year, we charge the year that you need the service a maximum of $750. If it takes that much to repair it, if it takes more than that, we repair it. No questions asked. So that's how we handle the extended warranty on the devices. And people seem to like it, and it's worked out. Maureen's got a Semi 3 from 2016, still going strong. And I know that Maureen uses her devices a lot. And so there you go.
Yeah, Bridget says if you take care of it, it can last 20 years plus. And I will say I haven't, been with MagnaWave forever, as some of you all know. But as we were moving into this new building, we were talking about maybe doing some sort of museum. And there are some artifacts around here that are very old and they still work. So I'm really confident in these machines lasting you a really long time. They're a solid investment.
Take care of them, and they'll be good. Cameron asked a question about the Spiro battery. Last 3 to 4 hours. Take about 4.5 hours to charge from dead to full. So that's 3 to 4 hours is several treatments. It's a bunch of treatments when you get down to the 30-minute type of treatment or whatever, as far as the day goes along. Let's see here. Any other questions? if I bring our machines to MagnaCon, let's see where to go. Bring to MagnaCon to turn in for service. Do we still need to fill out the paperwork on the portal? Do we get
Yeah.
with our reps? Fill out the paperwork on the portal, bring your machine, turn it in at then. Now, you won't be able to pick it up at MagnaCon, but you can bring it to MagnaCon, leave it for service, and it'll be shipped back to you when it's completed. We used to be able to do that, but with the numbers today, it just doesn't work out to repair it during the MagnaCon itself.
Yeah, and I will say, I think we have a deadline of late March, like 3 weeks before, or late May. I'm sorry, excuse me, late May, 3 weeks before MagnaCon, to send your machine in for pickup at MagnaCon, and then any device that's dropped off at MagnaCon would be another 2 to 3 weeks, just because we do get an influx of, whether it's the repairs, maintenance, whatever that may be, that you're bringing it in for service. I think that's what we've scheduled. So if you want to be able to pick it up at MagnaCon to take home with you, there is a deadline on that. And if you talk to your product specialist, they will be able to take care of you, make sure that gets sorted out. And you do need to fill out the paperwork either way, though, because like you mentioned, there's going to be lots of machines coming in and out of the back of the house here. So having that paperwork helps us track it, make sure everything goes through smoothly.
Perfect. Yes, Andrea, I'll sign your book. In fact, it'll be signed. Anything we give away, I sign everything that we do as far as the books are concerned, and we'll see that that's taken care of. Now, if for some reason we don't have signed versions, they'll send it to me. I'll sign it and get it back to them so they can send it to you, or they can let me know. I've got a couple with me that I can sign if they don't have one that is signed at this point.
We'll double check.
Okay, let's see here. There was another question.
Well, Angie mentioned here, can they rent a machine while they wait for theirs to be serviced?
Sure, we have loaners available. We have various situations available that we want to make sure that you have what you need as far as your machine requirements are concerned. Let's see. Will the LZR folks be at MagnaCon? We will have red light specialists at MagnaCon to answer your questions and to go over the new device. Someone also wrote about using, or one of the questions I just recalled further down the list about using the LZR at the same time as you're using the MagnaWave. You can do that. You can put the coil on. Let's say you're doing a knee on an animal and you want to use the red light and the coil at the same time. You can do that. The new devices, the rock devices, are engineered to allow that to happen. The older devices that are plug-in devices don't use them at the same time because our MagnaWave can cause it to not work anymore. And so we don't want to have that type of situation. There could be a situation with the rock that if you've got the coil very high and you're using it, that it will go off, but it'll come right back on after it's open. So there are signals there, but it is safe to use and effective to use the rock at the same time if you desire that you are MagnaWaving. MagnaWaving, however you want to do it, a horse or an animal. How does the Aura Pulse compare to the Pulse XL Pro from Pulse? Amy's asking. I have a local chiropractor who has one of the Pulse XL Pro, so I'd like to be able to compare and contrast the units. The Aura Pulse, the higher powered human device that is FDA registered, is as strong perhaps as any unit on the market today. It does have, there are some of the other units that they can control the intensity and the speed or the frequency independently. And that is not I'm not trying to throw anything. I'm not throwing anybody under the bus, but that puts the FDA in a quandary because you have to, as far as the FDA is concerned, we have to show every setting on the device that it's safe, that it works at those settings. And so if you have things that are totally controllable on a whim, then the FDA says you got thousands of things that you have to show us are safe to utilize. And as we know, PEMF is safe, they still ask those questions. And so they can still stop you if you have something that is so broad that they can't wrap their head around how it functions. Strength wise, the Aura Pulse is incredibly similar to any other device that's on the market out there as far as necessary strength or versatility in the strengths that you use the device for. And so the simplest way to do that is to have your chiropractor or put your chiropractor down, have them talk to a product specialist, get a device for them to try if they want to, if they have some interest in doing that in their practice, and then they can understand and experience the difference for themselves. The big thing that these folks are addressing when you start talking about chiropractors and people who are using devices on label, in other words, they're using them as they are cleared, they want to have that. And if they want to bill insurance, they need devices that have codes that are cleared in order to get codes. And we're working to do that now, is to have specific codes available for the docs to use to, in fact, bill their insurance accordingly. So that's a big thing when you're talking about someone making a comparison. When a device is FDA cleared, does meet the FDA safety standards, and so forth. And those types of things are there. People are asking those questions. The FDA is asking those types of questions to make sure that things are done properly in the proper manner and they are safe for use. Hope that helps.
And Synchronous Therapeutics asked about presenters at MagnaCon relating to Aura. And yes, their TJ and Lori will actually have a booth in the exhibit hall, and they will be presenting as well. So
exactly.
We're really excited about that.
Yeah, and so we want to cover those bases for you perfectly, so you understand why we did it, what's in place, what you can say going forward in the human market, and how to approach the human market to round out your business. Can you speak of FEI allowance for PEMF? Yes, I can do that. I've been dealing with the FEI for 20 years, and basically the way it worked originally when we were first starting the business and working around the FEI barns and the competition is the use of various devices was regulated by the veterinarian in charge of the event. And the FEI has talked about various regulations, and they came to a decision, maybe it's been 5 or 6 years ago now, that the maximum power that can be used on a device in FEI is 1,000 Gauss. And we have devices with certain attachments. And basically what happens is the attachment, let's say you take a semi-10, if you will, and you use the large loop as opposed to the paddle. The large loop produces a different Gauss number than the paddle, or a different Gauss number than the wave wing, not the wave. The wave wings are the butterfly. So each attachment puts out a different level of Gauss. And so that's why in the beginning, when we were first doing this, we would say use the Semi 5 at the time or whatever with the large loop, and you are under 1,000 Gauss. We could justify that, we could validate that, and we could prove that. But what's happened is people have used magnetometers that are not accurate, that show a number, and the veterinarians in charge or the people in charge say, okay, it's less than 1,000 Gauss, so you're good. Or they'll look at a device that can produce 10,000 Gauss, but yet if you use it at a certain level, if you put it on a very low setting with a large loop, if you will, you'll be under the 1,000 Gauss. The challenge there is someone says, well, I've got with this loop and this setting, I can do less than 1,000 Gauss, but then they get worried that when you go to the barn, how are you adjusting device? Back in the day, I remember there were times that the stewards or the officials at the FEI event would come to the barn while you were treating the animal to make sure that you were not going over the settings that they wanted or the intensities that they felt were good in the FEI situation. And the whole purpose of the FEI and their rules and regulations are not to punish somebody or keep somebody from doing anything, but to keep things on a level keel. They want everything similar. So if someone's doing something, they're not getting an unfair advantage by using a medication or by using a device accordingly as they approach a particular event or what's going on. So that's why those rules and regulations are there, is to keep everybody on a very level playing field as they enter into those events.
And then Lynn asked about the schedule for MagnaCon, and I do think Cameron replied, as well as maybe Meredith. But on the MagnaCon website, agenda is up on the top in the menu, and we do we do have the agenda there. It is getting kind of, the blanks are getting filled in between now and June. We have everything on there that we know up to this point. So, check it out and enjoy. And then another MagnaCon question. We're real popular here with this about BrainTap being at MagnaCon. And yes, I do believe they are participating again this year. They'll be in the exhibitor hall, probably speaking as well. So really looking forward to having them again this year.
Yeah, Dr. Porter will be with us this year, and should be a very good event for them and for us, and to utilize how people can stack these different modalities together to get the results that they're looking for. Airplane going over. I hope it doesn't bother you as we go on. Is there a place where we can see the numbers on the various attachments with the various devices? We have tallied those numbers, and we may have them available. I know we have them. Cameron can approach some of that, or talk to your product specialist.
Yeah.
But we have done tests on the various to show which devices meet the criteria for FEI using which attachments. So yes, that is available, and if you have a question, contact your product specialist and they'll help you with that. Let's see. Can we publish again all the Gauss levels of the various machines? Yes, we can do that. Stewart said no PMF in the FEI barn at all. Is that true then? That is totally up to the discretion of the veterinarian in charge of the event. If they want to exclude certain modalities, they can do that. And they've done it over the years. They've said that one of it, and we've done it. I mean, I've gone to events. Nope, can't come in today. All right, go to the show the next week, and yeah, you can come in. It's fine. This veterinarian understands it and what's going on and how you're using it. And so it really depends on the veterinarian or those in charge of the event. The FEI has not said that it's not available to be used in the events. At the events, the FEI made the statement, the ruling that 1,000 Gauss was the maximum Gauss that could be used in those types of situations for the FEI events. Hope that helps. Can you use the BrainTap at the same time as I use my Soul Pro? You can. The only issue there that you have to deal with is that the BrainTap, because of the headphones and the wiring in there, serves as an antenna, and it picks up the signal that you're delivering with the Soul Pro, so you could hear a clicking during your BrainTap session if you're treating at the same time. Now, if you're treating on a lower setting, or if you're treating an ankle or something, you still could pick up the signal and hear it on your headsets. And if that bothers you, then don't use it at the same time. Use them separately.
Yeah, and Nicole asked about the do's and don'ts. That is pinned at the top of the certified practitioners group, as well as in the portal. So what you should and should not say is readily available for you there. If you have any other questions, again, reach out to your product specialist, guys. They're a resource to you long after the sale is made. That's why they're not called salespeople, right? I think Pat and Elaine made that decision a long time ago to call them product specialists, because they are the experts here at MagnaWave. So if you don't see it on the portal, you don't see it on Facebook, feel free to reach out to them. We also have folks that reach out to you post-sale, Grace in marketing, to help you with a website or logo design and things like that. And she's a resource, as well as Lori with the affiliate program. So don't be afraid to ask, and just posting it in the group as well. And I know, we're hearing this live today to answer these kinds of questions, but we don't want you to wait a whole month to jump in and ask these questions whenever we have the answers right there for you. And we worked very hard to get those out there for you as well.
Sure.
One thing that I wanted to talk about, Pat, that before we're running out of time here, is do you want to touch on the cattle study at all? I know we've hinted at it, we've talked about it. We have it posted on our website now. You can view it there. You can download it and print it out. And if you'd like to talk to anyone about it, Jessie, our livestock expert, she would love to explain more about it. But yeah, Pat, I'd like to just toss that to you for a little bit.
Yeah, it's incredible when they talk about the acidosis and as I'm trying to think of the word, acidosis and the issue. And the mastitis that the cattle experienced, and causing huge high death rates. And by utilizing the MagnaWave to keep everything in check, just allowed them to control their herd perfectly, to get back to production, the milk production in the dairies. And I just used that study in a couple of my talks, and it opened doctors' eyes. I mean, they say, "Oh my," and they want to talk about it, and it just gives good. So learn these studies, take a look at this, be able to discuss it with your clients, and it just gives more credibility to what you're doing, the services that you're providing when we are able to do this. And we have several pilot studies on the human side that we have done. Here we go, case study. There's the QR code. Take a shot of that, and you can have a look at that case study. So learn them, discuss them, talk about them with authority, and that you understand it and how we did it, and that'll take you miles as far as credibility with your clients. And we've dedicated a significant investment in these pilot studies that we're doing on the human side, and now when we talk about the cattle and what we're working to do on the veterinary side, same thing. We want to validate our devices. There's a million studies out there that have been done over the years about PEMF, and so people talk about them all the time. Well, PEMF does this, but the question comes down to which device was used. It doesn't mean that the devices that they're talking about aren't beneficial. It just, everybody wants to know, well, which device was used. So we've taken the tact of duplicating. The nice thing about a study, and the real basis to a study, is that it could be replicated. And so we want to take a study, apply our devices to the same type of rigor of the study, and validate what they do. And that comes at an expense. It comes at a time commitment, and just the whole thing. And so Teresa and everybody that's working in training and the history and the background of what we're doing as far as the health and wellness of the animals and people, we want to substantiate. That's where we're working with Dr. Bard in New York with the ultrasound. The ultrasound use has really gone a long way to validate what we're doing, over and above, everybody remembers the blood study where you could take a blood sample, 15 minutes later take another sample, and you can see how the blood flow is improved and so forth. Well, we want to take it even step further. And in fact, the FDA came to us when we were making our assertions on our application for clearance, and they came and, okay, prove to us that you're using this device and getting actual tissue movement where you want it. And so we went to Dr. Bard, found an injury that we wanted to address, put it on there, did the ultrasound in real time, and showed the decrease in inflammation, showed the muscle, the tissue reacting to the energy that was being supplied to the area. And it just makes all the difference in the world. The FDA said, great, we like this so much. We now want you to test your coils again in another way so we can put the two of them together. So we tested every coil we had with the devices, and they came back and said, no, we don't want it in 2D. We want it in 3D because you're showing this. So let's see your signal in that result. And so we had to go back and retest every coil for every machine in 3D, and took a lot of time and some expensive, certainly. But because we're able to validate what we're doing with our device, that's what the FDA liked, and those are the kind of questions that they're asking not only us but other folks to bring to the table.
Yep. And Leslie asked about using two machines at the same time. Now, I know we offer the Julian Duo that is basically two machines in one case. So there doesn't seem to be a problem on that. But Pat, if you want to elaborate and answer that question a little more, there shouldn't be any problems, right?
No, there are no problems when you do that. And it's not an issue, but the machines are interesting. If you put two coils together and you're running them at the same time, let's say you're running the same intensity, let's put it that way, and the two coils are very close to each other, and you start one, and then two 2 seconds later you start the other one, so they're going click 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 click. Over a few minutes they'll get in sync and they'll fire at the same time. They hear the signals, pick up the signals and the energy, and they'll do that. But outside of that, if you're running one machine on the Julian Duo at a 5 and the other one at a 10 on the foot or something, that's fine. You can do that all day long, and it's not an issue to use them at those two devices in that one case at the same time. So if you had a Spiral Click and you had a Soul Pro or something and you wanted to use them in concert, most certainly you can do that. And on an animal, it's not an issue with detoxification or anything like that. With a human, you don't want to detox someone too fast. So you want to make sure you're a little more balanced in your application there and your time frame, so you don't over detox someone to where they take on not feeling good for a day or whatever. Let's see. Do you have a list of insurance companies that approve PEMF for horses and pets? Teresa may have some information on that. There are various companies that have covered PEMF for animals. I mean, if someone, and this is how it works, if somebody's got a very expensive hunter jumper horse or a racehorse, it's pick a number, $1 million or something, and it's insured, and they think that PEMF or laser or red light can help those animals or whatever it is, they'll cover it. They'll take that choice or take that chance, so the animal benefits from whatever modalities are being used. And we may have and the other way there, Google equine or veterinary insurance, and you can ask and see who covers what, because there's a lot of differences. But believe me, if they have a chance to not have to pay out for a full-blown claim, they'll try a lot of different modalities or utilize a lot of different modalities to bring health and wellness to that animal.
All right, Pat, we got just a few minutes left, and we want to do the final drawings. We got 1, 2, 3 more items, it looks like. But let's see, Amanda did ask, are you sitting someplace tropical? So I just wanted to let you address that and let them know where you're at.
There's my lovely wife out there, Debbie Wade.
Hi.
Wade, hey. They're in the backyard in our what we call our little tropical paradise. We're glad to be here. Let's see. Replying 3 duos. I saw a question. The ultrasound can be used at the same time with PEMF. Yes. I mean, our doctor does it real time as he's using PEMF. He'll ultrasound at the same time to see the potentiality result, or you can certainly do it after a treatment or before a treatment and then after a treatment to see the changes and what happened. So let's see what else we got to give away. Let's give something away.
Beautiful bottle of bourbon here. I have a bottle on my shelf at home. It is delicious. So you did a good job picking out a great bottle there, Pat. Okay. So, all right, Meredith, have you got a name there for the bottle of bourbon? I'm waiting.
21.
And I guess go ahead and send us 3 names. There we go. Corey Zamet Snexnader? I'm sorry if I'm totally butchering your last name. So a little nerve-wracking being live on here, so I'm just not going to say it anymore. But Corey Zamet, you get the bottle of bourbon. And then
give her a book.
Give her a book. All right. Mark that down, Meredith. We're giving books away with every one of them. We also have the MagnaWave t-shirt here and a copy of his book right here. So you're going to get the book and the shirt. And that is, I see the strap. So the strap with the book has been given to Kendra Brown, and the shirt is Bill Hatchmeister. So congratulations to all of you guys on your winnings today. We'll make sure we get those books, Pat.
Okay.
If we don't have signed ones here in the office, I'll send you a text message later today. And this is my personal
That's
copy. I need to get a signature as well, right? And if you can get Dick Vitale on the line, March Madness is here, so I'd like to have his signature there next to yours.
okay. There we go. We might be able to work that out. I might will be in his neighborhood in 2 weeks. Might be able to catch up.
And
He's up
I
in
know that
Sarasota.
I know this may be controversial, but I'm going to do it anyway since we're talking basketball. Who's going to win it all this year, Pat?
Oh, don't even ask me. Don't know. Don't know. Haven't
No,
followed it. I'm sorry, but I haven't followed it that closely.
no worries.
I'm
I'm
a
a
NASCAR guy.
Kentucky alumni, so I have to go Kentucky as an alumni.
Kurt
But
Busch is going to take it all the way.
yeah.
Kurt Busch play basketball?
Yeah. But yeah, we're really excited, guys. Thank you all for attending. I know a few of you all got on late, but the recording will be on the Facebook pages, on YouTube, everywhere we went live today. The recording will show up shortly after we end this here. Anything else, Pat?
Nope, I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome.
Any last minute questions?
Any last minutes?
Nope, looks quiet. Oh, let's see. Are those studies that you were requested the FDA published and are available for practitioner use? Seems like those would be particularly helpful with discussing PEMF. We have our prostate pilot study is available. We're doing a study right now on endometriosis that is in progress or process as we speak. We have a study on radical mastectomy medications after the surgery with Mayo Clinic that an IRB is being secured. So that will be a major study once that is in place and ready to go. And we're also doing some work in Vienna, Austria. And there's the Aura Wellness logo. Go check that out. And there's a lot of things on the website that deal with case studies and with what we're doing as far as other issues. You can go to patzemer.com. That's my personal website, and there is a spot on there where you can see research, and that will cover a lot of different things that Dr. Bard has done with ultrasound. You can see a lot of that information on there that we cannot necessarily at this point put on the website. So you can go there and see some of that information.
And I'm glad we've got 5 more minutes, and I hope everybody didn't jump off. It looks like we lost about 15 or 20 people there. But I almost goofed big time, Pat, because we do have – and people were asking for sales on the attachments and things earlier, but we do have 12 months same as cash on all of our high-end machines. So anything from a Soul Pro up, we are doing 12 months 0% financing on. And I did put a QR code up there above your head again, and there's one here.
12 months, what?
Same as cash, 0% this month only. This month only. Oh, my God. It's madness. It's March Madness. I almost forgot.
And it's my birthday.
Happy birthday, Pat. Yes, happy birthday. Sunday. Yes. You can finance a couple of those.
There you go.
Yeah, so I'm very sorry for those of you that we missed. We've been posting it on Facebook. We'll continue to. We've got some ad campaigns and stuff out there, so hopefully you've seen it. If you're hearing about it now for the first time, fill out the form here, reach out to your product specialist. There's never been a better time to get a machine with financing. That's, normally it's 12, 15%, 0 for 12 months. Pat, I'm glad you're all the way in Florida, so you don't come up here and tackle me in my office. But yes, please, guys, check that out. It's a great deal. And other than that, what is it you say? Wave on to better health?
Yeah, wave on to better health. Go all the way with MagnaWave. Have a great day and check out the Aura.
Yeah.